Hey guys, how's it going? Onage here and welcome to the 6th round of career mode F1 2014 of course, and going to drive the Toro Rosso here. It's time for the race after we have qualified already. So there we go, getting into the car, and one very pleasing side here is that the skies are pretty damn blue. So that is very good. Because, well, I do feel a bit more comfortable in the drive. So here we go, here's the setup. Running 8.7 wings. Could have maybe go for a little bit higher wings even, but I felt very comfortable with them, so I saw no change or no reason to change them. As you might notice, the audio is a little bit out of sync. It will get better though. It will actually fix itself once we start the race, so no worries about that. Here's the race strategy. Obviously, there's not a high chance that we will do this strategy, since there's a 64% chance of rain in this race. Looking at the teammate challenge, we're equal actually. Both of us have two advantages. You see Lewis Hamilton there on pole position. There it is. We are in 10th position and our teammate in 11th. So vital to get a good start here and get into that first corner in front of our teammate. So here we go. It's round 6 of the F1 2014 career mode on the channel, season 1. We have 5 lights and the lights are out and away we go. So there we go, pretty good launch. Look at that, a pretty good initial launch, but then we drop back as we see our teammate flying by as we head down into turn 1, losing 1 place at the moment. Tried to go around the outside of our teammate, couldn't do it though, as we are still in the 11th place, meaning we have lost 1 place at that start to our teammate. So heading up the hill, having a look on the inside of our teammate there as we overtook Perez there actually. So we're back up to 10th place, giving my teammate a little bit of a push there as we went pretty slow through that section. Head down once again, and oh, the teammate leaves the door wide open there. I'm gonna take that up to 9th position now and trying to attack Massa, but now I have to back out of it. Otherwise I might have made contact with him. So getting the teammate back there, a little bit of a dive bomb, but he left the door wide open, so he should not complain. If he leaves the door wide open, I'm gonna go for it. So straight away Massa pulls out a huge gap of about a second as we head down into the Nouvelle chicane, exiting the tunnel right now as you get the light into your face, obviously. Into the Nouvelle chicane. Oh, a little bit of wide, touching the barrier actually, trying to get used to this heavier fuel load. It's a little bit of a difference obviously, but well, give me 1.5 laps and I'll be used to it. At least I should be used to it. So through the swimming pool section, right, left, hitting the ball and even hitting the barrier there as well. Luckily it's not a simulator, because if this game was, I would have lost my tire already right now. But anyway, I'll take it. Final corner to go, first lap completed. Into P9, so actually gained a position there. Surprisingly enough, obviously gained a position on Perez after the start and then on my teammate. Now enter the first corner, closing the gap to Massa a little bit. Visually you can judge that it's a little bit closer than what it was before. Up the hill, into the left-hander here. Casino, look at the background by the way. Obviously a fantastic place here, Monaco, a beautiful circuit. Very special obviously. So entering the hairpin right now, 8/10 to Felipe up front. Up front of Massa is Magnussen in the McLaren at the moment. So pretty good start. The initial launch was actually pretty good, but then I don't know, I just bucked down into the first gear or something like that, no idea. So we once again see Massa pulling a gap into that section, so it seems like the AI has the edge over me through that section. And again, entering the Nouvelle chicane, it seems like I'm pretty strong through the Nouvelle chicane. Maybe cut at the corner there slightly. If I did so, I would love to apologize, because that is not clean. Anyway, we're right onto Massa still. A little bit of oversteer there as I turned in too early to the corner. I had to do a quick correction through the swimming pool once again, right and left. Not hitting the baller this time, not hitting the outside of the barrier that time either. You see that, taking a little bit of a different line to Massa there, as I had to correct it though, so it didn't work out for sure. Tried to go with a little bit of an undercut, as DRS will be enabled right now. So I think it's still Hamilton who's leading this race as we skip to lap 3, coming through the swimming pool section. Beautiful chicane there, I really love that, especially in these cars here. These cars are a little bit more loose on the rear, especially on the positive throttle. So yeah, they have a lot of torque obviously, so sometimes you have a beautiful slide through there, especially in the rain. So DRS enabled. DRS is actually wide open for us at the moment. We are pretty close behind Massa. I'm having a little bit of a cold here by the way, so I hope my voice stays healthy during this video, and if I do sound a little bit different, I apologize. 1.5 seconds slower at the moment compared to Hamilton, who is on a 1:18.0, so a very good lap from him obviously. But well, we are in this little bit of a train here. There's someone leading this train, and that is actually P8765. P5 is leading this train at the moment. No idea who it is. Let's see if we can actually have a look. That's a McLaren, so it has to be Button, as we see Magnussen there in P7. So Button is currently leading this train with a Forzinia as well in there. So Forzinia is 6th position, doing a very good job indeed. We enter the tunnel yet again. You can see the AI just pulled away, especially on the exit of that corner entering the tunnel. They just pull away, and I don't know if that's down to the traction control which they have. But anyway, I'm not going to complain. I'm making that up pretty much every lap into the Nouvelle chicane. So flying through here. Pit 1 should be about lap 11, but we'll see how these tires hold on. I'm pushing pretty hard right now, trying to keep up with these guys as best as I can. As you can see, they're taking a more wide entry, trying to hit the second apex there of that double right-hander a bit better. Take a little bit more speed onto this straight, a little bit of a different line, but we cannot fight against that Mercedes power up front. Obviously, Massa is driving a Williams, we are driving a Toro Rosso. Tire wear is pretty good. 15 minutes time, there we hear it from the engineer. It's going to rain in 15 minutes time. Light rain though, so no heavy rain, but still I know that I have the well, I wouldn't really call it an edge, but I am better in the dry than in the wet compared to the AI. So yeah, I would rather, you know, show the best I have got right now into these in these dry conditions here. So we once again skip to lap 6, pretty consistent here in this train. 2/100ths of a second quicker than my previous lap time, but let's have a look. 8.76 looks like Button is catching P4 a little bit. Might be wrong on that, but I do think so. I said a little bit of a look on Massa there. You saw me there having a look, but there was not enough space to go for a gap there. Massa being really slow on the apex of that hairpin. Looks like the AI prefers to carry more exit speed, and I prefer more entry speed. But well, at the same time creating a gap to my teammate, extending that gap as well, so that's very good. We go down this main straight behind Felipe Massa once again, but we're a little bit closer, and as you can see there, Massa's DRS was close, so this puts me right on the tail of Felipe Massa here as we go up the hill in his slipstream. Will we have a look at the end of the straight? Yes, we do have a look, but well, he left it all wide open, but I couldn't go for a dive bomb there. It's just not the nature of the corner. You cannot go for a dive bomb there. So tried to go on the inside, did not work. Lost well, 7/10 gap straight away. You know, I compromised my line, and you can see how much time that actually costs. 6.7 seconds to our teammate Jean-Eric Verne, and currently still in this train here. But it's lap 8, and well, I would say that the rain is going to fall down in about 12 minutes time. So I select the prime tire here, and I feel like being held up here. I'm going to select the prime tire, hope that I will not exit in traffic. 10 minutes, there we go, 10 minutes until the rain comes. So we're going to pit this lap. I'm the first one, I believe, of this race who was going to pit. We're going on the prime tire and trying to go for the undercut here. I'm going switching onto the prime tire, you can see it there. Now I need to have a little bit of luck. You know, it's a pretty short pit lane. I need to have luck that I come out in clean air. Let's have a look. We are P15 looking and waiting for Bianchi to cross the finish line, which he does so now. But we will end up way in front of him. So that gives us, look at that, beautiful. This is exactly what we needed. Clean air in front of us with Pastor Maldonado leading us by, well, about a 5-second gap, something like that. But now is the time you have to show, you know, what you have got. Now it's the time to shine on these prime tires. Obviously it would have been better to go on the option tires probably for now, but I'm sure that the prime tire will now hold on a little bit better, give more consistency. 4.4 seconds is the gap to Maldonado up front. So as I said, now it's time to push, and well, in an attempt obviously to come out ahead of that train which Jensen Button led when we well, entered the pit lane. Entering the Nouvelle chicane, braking very late there. Actually, I think I went for a corner cut there. Apologies for that. I really do apologize, but I'm just pushing so hard right now. Look at that, just so close to hitting the wall every single time, but not hitting it just about. 2.8 seconds to Maldonado, so made up 1.6 seconds, I think. Skip to lap 11. Still waiting for the guys to pit. So I think I pitted in lap 8, meaning that I had 3 or 2 laps longer, or well, having a 2 or 3 lap undercut as I overtook Pastor Maldonado. I actually overtook him with DRS down the inside. As we can see, people are starting to pit. One of them is my teammate, and there's another dot in the pit lane. So let's have a look whether I end up in front of him. So we go down the main straight. Who is this dot? It is Massa. That is Massa there entering the pit lane, and we go fly by him. Very, very good. This is exactly what we wanted. Got past Massa by quite a big gap as well, you know, quite a big margin there. So that is, well, exactly what we wanted. And still, Button has to pit, I believe. Button still has to pit, as I had a little bit of contact with the barrier there. Raikkonen in front of us, still pushing my balls off at the moment, obviously, since, Button and that train in front of Massa hasn't pitted yet. 2.5 seconds to Massa. So, well, definitely the right choice there to go for that undercut. And pretty interesting, you know. I'm quite a bit quicker than the AI here in the race. In dry conditions though, 5 minutes time, and then we will have, you know, a little bit of rain. So I need to extract everything I can right now while it's still dry, you know. Because as I said, in the wet conditions I will struggle a little bit more compared to the dry conditions. So still pushing as hard as I can, flying into that corner, almost touching the barrier. I think I had a little bit of a touch there, taking too much speed on corner entry. Still 3 tenths up though on our previous lap time, turning it in there, very close to hitting the ball. Very, very close to hitting that ball there on the outside of the corner. You see more people now, more drivers starting to get into the pit lane. We are now into the final corner. Let's see where we end up. There's a driver now going to exit the pits. That is Bottas. And Bottas, I don't think we have seen him all race long, but still doesn't matter though, because he is going to end up in front of us anyway. It's going a little bit deep into turn 1. But I haven't seen Bottas before. Was Bottas the car driving in front of Button? I am not entirely sure. If that's the case, then we're doing a good job. P10 at the moment. And Button still has to pit? Does he? I am not sure what Button is doing at the moment. Bottas, however, is on the prime tire. I think that's the Force India front. So it looks like the Force India and Justin Button both had managed to stay in front of me. But now Bottas there is leading me by 8/10 of a second. Apologies. Excuse me about that one. We touch the barrier and we spin, and now Felipe Massa comes through. There he comes. I have to wait, obviously. I couldn't get on the power there, otherwise I would have blocked Massa and Massa would have T-boned me. But what the hell happened there? I touched the barrier, the outside barrier, and it just caused me to spin, and it looked very, very awkward. But it gives away well, the 10th position there and the points paying position too. But that looked very, very weird. I just had the slightest contact with the barrier and it spun me around, and I lost about 7 seconds, I would say. 6.7 seconds indeed. So, wow. Bit unlucky. You could argue with that, of course, but personally I would say that I shouldn't have touched that barrier. I was too much on the outside entering the corner, you know, which opens up the tunnel. And very, very stupid, of course. And oh, what an unfortunate error it is as well. And well, it made me very, very angry, I can tell you that. You know, you saw me there just going too deep into turn 1, and that's why you have to say to yourself, you know, calm down, calm down. As we skipped to lap 17 and we overtook Grosjean, we went on the prime tire, and actually Hulkenberg just pitted. Hulkenberg is ahead of Massa, and I think it is still Bottas ahead of Hulkenberg then, if I'm right. Let's have a look. Cannot see it just yet, but you know, if I didn't have that spin, I would probably still be ahead of Hulkenberg. So it's very, very unfortunate. And this is actually Bottas ahead. No, that's not Bottas ahead of Hulkenberg. So if I didn't make that error, I would have been ahead of that McLaren, which is presumably Magnussen. What a shame, you know, that would have put me up in 7th position. Amazing. Get through the tunnel about halfway of this race. It's not really a long race, of course. It's a lot of laps, 39 laps, but bear in mind it's a pretty short lap, only 1 minute and 20 seconds long on average. About 1 minute and 20 on average. 1.3 to Massa, 1.3. I'm making up the gap, and as you can visually see, I'm pushing very, very hard as there are raindrops falling at the moment, with Massa still leading us, but only by 1.3 seconds. Remember, it was 2.5 before. The cars ahead of us are starting to battle. As we see on the minimap, another car exiting the pits though. Who is that? Is that another McLaren? Is that Button then? I am not sure, I couldn't really judge it. Is it another Force India? I cannot really see, to be honest. Anyway, we are still in P9, that's what matters most. But now again we have a four-way battle up front, and now we are joining this battle as well, as we are getting within the 10th, or within the second of Massa. And I do think it's a McLaren, so that has to be Button then. And did Button actually start on the prime tire then? He must have started on the prime tire, because he went 17 laps otherwise on the opposite tire, and I don't see that happening, to be honest. So very busy race. You can see there that, well, actually the driving looks pretty good, I have to say. Obviously there are a few corrections here and there, but what else do you expect around Monaco? For my standards, I've been driving pretty smooth, I would say. Once again, just hitting the curb there, extending the car as much as I can, almost hitting the barrier there. Just every single lap coming so close to the barriers, especially on the exit of Nouvelle Chicane. But now starting to get a little bit of oversteer through the swimming pool section there. Raindrops are starting to fall down, 6/10 down on the previous lap. The track conditions are starting to to get worse right now with the rain falling down, and it's about time we go to the intermediate tire, I would say. Having DRS on Massa though, indeed indicating that I'm right now within a second. The objective for this race is to finish in 8th position, as Massa is now starting to lose connection with that train in front. You know, he's starting to, the gap is starting to form, if you know what I mean. You can see that visually it looks a little bit more understeery through those corners. It indeed is, as I lost 4/10 in that first sector alone. I think it's about time we pit this lap, to be honest. And look at that, on the minimap we are losing right now time to that train, as we have 1 second down. Okay, we're 1 second down right now. Rain is falling down harder and harder. Apologies about that. And I think it's time to pit. Here we go. Yep. Yeah. I wanted to stay out for one more lap probably, but then that message coming from the engineer decided, well, a last minute decider pretty much. I decided to go into the pits, and actually I have lost a piece of my front wing. I don't think I have showed it you guys, but I can tell you that I lost a little bit of my front wing end plate into the first corner after I have made that mistake where I spun. Just went too deep into the first corner and lost the front wing end plate, so we rejoined the track just behind Kimi Räikkönen, I think, who was there in the Ferrari. But is this the right call? Is the intermediate tire the right call, or is it too early? Let's have a look and judge ourselves by the driving. Entering this casino corner. Not too bad, does it? It does not look too bad. A little bit of understeer there. It could have been worse though. I think it will be better during the ending of the lap. As you can see there, it is starting to rain really hard, doesn't it? So I think it was the right call. Let's have a look at the gap to Räikkönen, 2.6. That will be a good indication whether it was the right call. So that means 19 laps left in rainy conditions here. P8 is our target. We were P9 before. See what we can do. Entering Nouvelle Chicane, let's have a look. Not really. It's I don't know if I would have more grip on the slick tire. Let's have a look at the gap. I think it opened up to Räikkönen. I think the gap extended 2.6 before. It is now 3.1. Indeed, lost half a second into that middle sector. So maybe it would have been better to actually stay out for one more lap, and I do actually think that that's the case. But anyway, I'm not going to complain. I had to do something different, and maybe it will still work. As well, there are not a lot of drivers in the pits. We gained P9 back, okay, so we are back in P9, but Massa and all the cars ahead of him have kept on going, and that is a pretty interesting choice. 23.7 seconds is the gap. Let's keep an eye out on that. But the rain is literally pouring down right now. There's quite a bit of spray coming from the tires as well. 22.5 seconds. I have just gained about 1.2 seconds on Massa. So I think these guys are staying out too long. I really think so. You know, you can visually see that the skies are pretty grey. Rain is falling down pretty hard. And I am making up the gap to Massa. But remember, it is a pretty big shame that I lost my front wing end plate, because I had to be stationary in the pit box for another 3 seconds, 3 seconds more. Rather than having the standard 3.7 pit stop. So I do expect Massa and everybody in the mamas, basically, so that whole train pitting this lap as we a little bit of drift through that Nouvelle Chicane, or sorry, through the swimming pool. 17 seconds made up about 5 seconds in the middle sector. This is looking extremely good for us, as they are indeed in the pits right now. You can see all of these dots, all of these drivers now in the pit. And where will we end up? We overtake Magnussen, we overtake Massa, that is Hulkenberg. We overtake Hulkenberg as well into P6. What a race. What a race this is. Who is ahead of us right now? Is that another Force India? No, it's actually Jensen Button. So Button still stays ahead of us. And imagine that I did not have that front wing end plate damage. You know, I would have been ahead of Button probably, but it's all stupid to say, obviously. If is always stupid to say, because it just happened, you know, and I cannot turn that back, turn that around. So 2 seconds is the gap to Button. I do not expect us to close that gap down, as we are now in rainy conditions. And as I said, it's actually raining really, really hard. As I said, I am not really quick in the rain compared to the AI. They have traction control. They are really, really good on corner exits. So 17 laps to go, and I think these 17 laps will be all about looking in the mirrors, trying to defend this 6th position from Hulkenberg. And who knows what's going to happen, you know. I mean, we've seen before in the rain, I might have a huge train behind me, so I might have to defend from several cars. 2.7 to Button, lost 7/10, I believe, in that middle sector. That's incredible, judging that that middle sector was not too bad. 1:26.6 is the lap time. I think I made a little bit of a mistake in lap 23, 1.2 seconds down on our previous lap time, but still ahead of Hulkenberg luckily. Lap 24, 15 laps to go. Little bit of slide here, starting to lose a bit of grip, as you can see there. A little bit more of a slide, starting to correct the car more and more. Obviously there's more water now coming down on the track, and is it time for a full wet tire then? Lost another half a second compared to my previous lap time, so I do actually think it's time for the full wet. As you can see here, there's quite a bit of understeer here in these double right-handers. Look at that, just not hitting the apex. And well, look at Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg had a great exit, and he's on the inside here for this corner in the tunnel, but he backs out of it. Okay, that's well, that's a shame to see, I guess. Ooh, a bit unstable on the braking for the Nouvelle chicane. Hulkenberg still behind us though. Because he had a little bit of a look on the inside of that tunnel. The corner in the tunnel, coming through swimming pool. A bit of a drift. Yeah, starting to get wet now. 2 seconds down. And indeed, our engineer is telling that we should change to the wet compound. We see on the minimap drivers starting to enter the pit lane, so we are going to do that as well. We go entering the pit lane right now. Hulkenberg obviously comes into the pits as well. We select the wet tire. Luckily, I don't have any front wing damage or something like that, so this time we should see a normal 3.7 pit stop, unless I get held up here, and that would be dramatic. Let's have a look. 3 seconds. Hulkenberg gets released. We get released as well. 3.7 seconds. Great stop from our pit crew, who was under a little bit of pressure there, I'm sure. But we rejoined the track into our 6th place, which we were before, obviously. And still ahead of Nico Hulkenberg. So what is actually our best result of the season? Was it in Bahrain? I am not entirely sure. Anyway, this P6 is definitely looking to be, well, a very special P6. You know, in this Toro Rosso, I think, I even think I could have been higher than this, you know. When you also think about the mistake I made where I spun, and also where I lost my front wing end plate, I think I could have battled Button. Look at top left. You see that? Did you guys see that? We're in P5. We are in P5. I saw Ricciardo there suddenly popping up in P5, and I had a 60-second gap to Ricciardo. By the way, look at Hulkenberg there in the mirror. Oh no, he doesn't go for an overtake, but Ricciardo, I think, is out of the race. I think Ricciardo is out of the race, and it moves us up. Excuse me, to P5. Unbelievable! If we can keep this up for another 14 laps, we will finish in the top 5 around Monaco in the Toro Rosso. Look at the corrections there through the swimming pool. Right, left again. Pretty close hitting the ball there. Pretty close hitting that wall again. It's just ridiculous. You've got to love Monaco, you know, as a track. It's great from a spectator point of view. I honestly do not really like the track myself, but yeah, it obviously is quite special to drive here. Remember, the DRS is disabled obviously in these wet conditions, so Hulkenberg will not have DRS, which will definitely help us staying ahead of Hulkenberg. Skipping to the end of lap 28, starting of lap or the beginning of lap 29. 10 more laps to go. Let's keep this up. Let's keep this up. 16-second gap to Button. Remember, that gap was 2 seconds about 9 laps ago. So it's insane, you know, the pace of the AI in these wet conditions. It really is insane. But yeah, currently I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at my mirrors, you know, trying to keep Hulkenberg behind. And well, it actually is good that it started to rain right now, you know, because it's Monaco, so it will be very hard to overtake, even for the AI with traction control. It's very hard to overtake, and they cannot really do it. So yeah, this is the perfect scenario currently for us if we want to finish into that top 5. And who knows what would have been possible if it stayed dry, you know, because I look pretty good, pretty decent in the dry conditions. Just again, slowing the car down for Nouvelle Chicane. Make sure you do not cut the corner. Get on the power. And Hulkenberg suddenly fell back. Oh, that's good actually for us. Creates a little bit of breathing space. Look at that, so close to the apex. Almost hitting the wall there. Had to do a little bit of a correction there. 7/100 is down on our previous lap time, so being well, kind of consistent as well at the moment, which obviously is good. 10 more laps to go. Keep it together. Keep it together. That's all I was thinking about right now. Would have been, of course, it would be fantastic to finish in this 5th position in this Toro Rosso. So we're skipping all the way now to the ending of lap 37, and as you can see, we are still in P5. There's a car in front of us, but do not worry, that is not Button. It actually is a back marker. I think it's a Marussia as we come onto the straight, but the rear tires are starting to fall off. I'm starting to struggle with the traction as Hulkenberg has a look on the outside, but he decides to back out of it. The rear tires are starting to wear out quite a bit. So that means that I'm having a problem, you know, getting on the power, as we see a Mercedes behind us, but I did not get any blue flags, so I was confused. I now saw that it was Hamilton, and I saw that first place, you know, behind his name, so I knew that I had to move over, but I did not get a blue flag, so I wasn't sure whether I should let him through. Anyway, we let him through. Make sure I rejoin there, back in front of Hulkenberg, which we do so using a little bit of squirts off the throttle. But remember, because we got lapped, the race will finish in this lap. So it looks like we are going to stay in this 5th position. If I can keep it up for just a few more corners. This is the penultimate corner, Rascas. And now the final corner of this race. Have a good exit. Oh, even though it's pretty hard on these tires, going to rich mixture. And we now go down to the line. Hulkenberg has looked out on the outside, but it's not gonna work. We finish in P5 around these tricky Monaco conditions. Started in the dry. We got to intermediate conditions just after the halfway mark, and then at the end, full wet. 5th place indeed. Obviously a good result, and in the end, 1:19.2. You know, that's a pretty good fastest lap. That's actually 3rd. You know, that would have put me up in 3rd of the fastest lap leaderboard. Although Ricciardo is in there with 18.8, so being realistic, it would have been 4th. And Ricciardo actually helping me a lot there, you know, by not finishing. 20 points right now in the championship, behind Valtteri Bottas and in front of Kevin Magnussen. So not bad at all. Not bad at all for a rookie Toro Rosso driver. So of course very pleased with this 5th place. Pretty tricky conditions, to be honest, but luckily I only had 2 major mistakes. Obviously I touched the barrier here and there, but that's fine in this game. So I'm very happy with that 5th place. It felt like a really good race, so yeah, very happy with that. And that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you have enjoyed it. Hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.